Welcome back to another episode of Tractor Roy. My name is Trent. As you can see, it's starting to snow. We've had, 6 inches in the last week, and it kind of warms up, melts off, and then it snows again. It seems like it snows every other day. As you can tell, we kind of got the stuff loaded up here in the new tractor shed. We've got my 1936 John Deere B. We have my I don't know if it's a 39 or a 40 Farmall B. My wife's, I think this one's a 1958 Farmall 240. I have the 1959 Alice Chalmers D17 diesel. That's a John Deere 300 diesel. I don't remember what year that is, maybe like a 62. This is a 1964 Massey Ferguson Model 65 gas. And this is a 1950 Farmall Model C. These are just the ones that were over here at my father-in-law's house that we could kind of throw in here real quick. We've got that Farmall A, that's another Super A, so it's a 1950. Over at my house over there, we still got that John Deere 70, 2 H's, an M, an MD, and another WD-45. Now this obviously isn't what I was going to show you today. I'm going to be working on these wheels. These are for one of my WD-45s. It's just kind of exciting that we got that shed finally wired up. Got some lights in it and some receptacles for like battery tenders and stuff for the winter. There we go. But it was exciting. Wanted to show you. It's snowing. I want to do some work inside, so I'm going to be welding on that because it's a little chilly. Like, it's not terrible, but I don't really want to be working outside. So what better time to do some welding? In the shop in here, we do have this, gosh, is this thing a 52 maybe? Farmall M working on. We're about finished up with it. I got to throw another coat on. I messed up on the tank. And you can see some spots that I missed too. But it's getting too cold now, so this might have to get cleaned out here, and that'll get pushed to the back. Wait till spring. This WD-45, we're going on a trip here in a couple of days, so once we get back, I'll order up all the parts for this to finish that rebuild and hopefully get this thing thrown out. Now, the wheels that are in the back of that blue truck, that's what we're going to be working on. This is one of the good ones. Well, better ones. Boy, that's got a good hole in it too. We're going to take this and one of those to make a good set for this. There's one of the tubes. I got to order another tube for it. I got tires sitting outside. I'm going to use one of those other rims as patch material. So yeah, I'm going to bring those things in and we'll kind of get some stuff marked out. So that Farmall, or that International 300 that I just sold actually, it got sold with some wheels that I had kind of made up. So as you can tell, these ones had calcium chloride in them, both of these. And when you get a hole in the tube, it really starts to eat through it because it's like salt water on steroids. So what I did on those wheels that are on the 300 is I got a new outer rim. It was actually a six loop rim like this one is. Cut those loops off. I cut all of these spin out rails off and then welded them into that new rim. And it worked really well. Then I had a brand new rim. But it was just really time consuming and it kind of sucked, honestly. Like, it took a while. So my hope, and that's what I was going to do with this one too, is I was going to cut those spin out rails out of that to put on this because as you can tell this one's been eaten out pretty good. This one's skinnier. This one matches the other one I have that's in a little better shape. On that other one, the valve stem is rotted out right there. So I'll probably start working on that one first, I'm guessing. Anyways, so what I'm going to do here, because this is going to be easier than taking out all those spin out rims, is I'll take a straight edge and I'll just cut, this square out, something like that. Cut it all the way out, and then I'll cut the same chunk out of this. These are both 28-inch wheels. They have a pretty similar profile. It'll be close enough. I'll cut out the rectangle out of this, weld it into there, blend it all together, and it should work out pretty well for us. And it should be a little easier than totally replacing all those spin-out rails. So I think I found a new motto too. It's low budget, high effort, mediocre results. That's my new motto here. So it looks like the end of our rust is about there. And then about there, we got a hole there. It's starting to get thin through a little of this stuff. So probably go out to there. I'll get a straight edge, but probably cut out like that. I don't know what's going to be easier. I don't know if I should cut there. Maybe I'll cut there, and then I'll leave this outer ring on. Now, since these are such low pressure tires, you know, what I run these at like 12, 15 psi. I'm not worried about my welds failing, if that makes any sense. And there's going to be tubes in this, so it doesn't have to get a perfect seal. I just have to basically plug these holes so like no rocks and sand and stuff get in there. Otherwise, if you put a new tube in here, you really could just run it like this. It just doesn't look very good. So I'm going to get a straight edge up here, and at least the best I can, try and make something pretty. A nice line to cut on. There, actually I bet you the strap will work. It doesn't have to be anything precision. Yeah, we'll go like that. Already pretty close on that. We'll come out right there. Now I'm going to take the cutoff wheel on the grinder and just cut this slot out. There's probably, yeah, it looks like right here, I'm going to run into my, oh, there's a weld right there. So right there and right there is where that spin out rail is. So I have to pay attention to that. But shouldn't be that big of a deal. So now I'm going to go crazy cutting that thing with the cutoff wheel. Okay, that one's cut out. Can't really reuse any of this, so I'll have to use the tape measure. Lay stuff out on this other rim. I guess now I can see how bad of a job I did. Oh, dang, that was way better than I thought it was going to be. With this, it doesn't have to be polished smooth. You just have to knock down the high spots. If there's a high spot, then that tube will sit there and it'll rub back and forth, and it could wear through it. You know, it could be years down the road, but we're getting into it now, so we may as well just do it right. So here it is all finished up. Took the grinder, smooth it all out pretty good. I've still got to go through the rest of this, get all that scale off. I might even pick up a needle scaler because I got some thicker deposits there that it'd be nice to get knocked down. On the inside here, so I kept the same edge, which I think makes it look fantastic. There it is up under there. If I wanted to, I could take out the center and then grind down and clean all this stuff up, but I don't think it looks bad. And for what I'm doing with this, it won't be that big of a deal. I don't have a hole for the valve stem now. These things tend to rot out around the valve stem. You get a hole in the tube, they sit there and leak, and then the first spot they usually come out is that valve stem hole. So that's where it'll rust away first. So I'll go just 180 degrees from it, and I'll just poke a hole probably right there for it. It's not that big of a deal where it is. Actually try and keep it in the same location as that old hole, but it doesn't really matter anywhere else. You know, it's a tubeless, so we don't have to try and get the valve stem to seal. It's just going to poke through from that tube. And then I still got this other one to do, but it's more of the same, and it's a bigger area, so I won't bore you with working on that. All in all, I'd say this is a success. Way easier doing it this way, cutting a patch out, than it was to cut those rails out. I much prefer this method. And like I said earlier, this is going to be for this tractor. I'm hoping in like 2 weeks maybe, I'm going to order all the parts to rebuild the engine on this. These sleeves, as it turns out, are in pretty good shape. The pistons are in pretty good shape. So I'm going to get a re-ring kit, a gasket set, new O-rings to reseal the sleeves, because I'm trying to do this one on a budget. I don't want to put a whole lot of money into it. I didn't buy it for a whole lot. I'm not going to keep it around. I want it to be a good working tractor, but I don't need it to be perfect. I don't want to spend the effort and time and money that it's going to take to do that. So that wheel I was just working on, plus the one I still have to do, is going to get tubes, set of tires for it outside. It's going on here. Hopefully here soon I can get the engine rebuilt in here. And I'm really hoping, like, by the end of the year, by the first of the year, same thing, that this thing is done. I might get it, I might not. I guess we'll just have to see when the time comes. But as long as I can get this thing out of here, before winter's over. Because I've got that cedar I've still got to work on. And we have this M. But like I said, if the weather doesn't shape up, because usually it seems like we have a thaw here in, I don't know, end of November, beginning of December, where it might be warm enough that I can throw a coat of paint on there. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I hope you learned something on this. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know, I need some constructive criticism. Let me know what made you click on this video and what you liked about it and what I should change. Other than that, if you liked it, hit the thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you're not, so you can keep track of all this stuff, or keep up with all this stuff. It's a lot to keep track of, I know. But thanks for watching, Tractor Roy. Hope I'll catch you on the next one.